Hi, I'm George, and this is my review of the new Adobe Photoshop Elements 2021. Now, if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, click on share, click on subscribe, to click on my channel for a bunch more Photoshop Elements videos. And if you really want to learn how to use this program, take a look at my link right down below in the description for my complete training course for Photoshop Elements. Now, this review is just about Photoshop Elements, the photo side of this program. The Premiere Elements, which is the video side, I'll be looking at that in just a few weeks. But the first question I always get is this program worth the upgrade? Is it worth going ahead and upgrading to this new version? Well, it really depends. If you tend to get both programs, Photoshop Elements and also Premiere Elements, then it's definitely worth the upgrade. There's a lot of new stuff inside of Premiere Elements that's really worth it. There's some great updates on that particular program. If you only use Photoshop Elements, then it depends on what your use is for the program. There are just a few new things in Photoshop Elements. Not much has been changed aside from that. It's really basically the same program it was in version 2020. There are 6 main new features and one little update inside of the organizer, and that's just the organizer is going to be doing auto backups as you work. In the editor, all 6 of the new features are really what I say are aimed at social media. Now, if you're just learning about how to use Photoshop Elements, if this is your first time buying the program, it's a great program, and it's my personal favorite program to use for most of the graphics that I do, most of the photo work I do. Let's go ahead and launch the editor and take a look around. Okay, here we are inside of Photoshop Elements, and let's first take a look at the things that I think have kind of dual use, for regular photo work or for use on social media. And the first one of those, let's go over here to this picture of this girl. Now, one of the things that's been around for a while now is the ability to adjust facial features, and a new trick has been added into that. So let's go up here to Enhance, come down to Adjust Facial Features right here. It finds the face, as you can see, that works the same. And we've always had this stuff up here, lips, smile, eyes, nose, face shape. We've had this stuff before. The new addition here right down there is face tilt. It actually is very, very interesting. I'll just bring this up. You can adjust the angle, left or right, and up and down. Let's do our angle first and kind of rotate it like this. Let's see, I wanted to make it up here just a little bit. If you look at her hairline, notice that it does a real nice job of adjusting that hair so it looks very, very natural. I'll just go up just a bit here on the angle, and we can do a left or right tilt, just a little bit like this, and we can do an up or down in here, a little bit of an up tilt right there, and down here's a before and after. There's a before, and there's our after. It looks really natural and does give you a huge amount of ability of just kind of adjusting a pose that somebody has in a picture, even a major amount, as you can see right here. Big change, but it looks very natural, looks very realistic. The next new feature, and that's over here, is something which is called Perfect Landscape. Now, the reason why I think this is more of a social media tool is that a lot of these guided edits don't give you the quality that I like for good photo editing. So I would normally do this kind of a job over in the regular expert mode, take my time and do a real nice job. But if you're in a hurry, if you want to do things quickly because you're posting something up on a social media site, then this one makes sense. So again, it's kind of a social media tool. What it does is it analyzes the picture. You can come in here, you can crop or straighten your image if you want to, right down here. There's your crop, there's your straighten. Again, both things are available in expert mode as well. You can remove haze, that's also a tool over in expert mode. The main thing about this one though is this next section right down here, and that's creating a new sky. You can position your sky once it's in here, and you can also refine the edge, run your sky edges in here if you need to. Again, these are all things that are really better done in expert mode. But if you're doing just social media, then you might want to do this just because it's a lot faster. Okay, let's go ahead and take a quick look at this. Let's first do straighten, and I'm going to come down here and put a line straight across that horizon right there, which is just a bit of an angle. There we go. So the water is now level, which is more accurate. And let's go ahead and put a sky in here. I'll just do this blue sky right here. Let this fix this. It'll figure it out. It'll find the sky in the image. It will then replace that sky with this new sky photo. Now we're kind of limited, as you can see here, on the number of sky options that we have. There you go. Looks really great. There are a few little problems right up in the hair, right up in here maybe. A little bit of a greenish look right there. But all in all, it did a real nice job with that. Now you can come down here and auto match the color. It's a bit better, I think, bit better match in there. You can adjust the opacity so it actually works as an overlay as opposed to just a replacement. You can also move the sky around with the move tool. So you can reposition the sky, get a better spot on that. There we are. But you could use a refined edge. You can shift your edge a little bit here, and you can do spot healing if there are more problems down there with your spot healing tool. Again, all these things can be done over in expert mode. You get a better result, but it's certainly a lot faster here. So if you want this kind of an ability, this is a great little tool. The next trick here is making duotones. Again, it's another guided edit. I'll open up a different picture here just for some variety. I have one in here with it's a motorcyclist, and it's over here on Fun Edits, and it's this one here, the duotone effect. Let's just bring this one up. It's going to examine the image, look at it as if it were a black and white, and then do a gradient match on that. Something which can be easily done, again, over inside of expert mode where you have a lot more control. In here we're a little bit limited on these things. There's kind of a gradient on the gradient, kind of interesting. And here's just a duotone effect. You can control the amount in here, kind of the balance between your images, and the opacity. So there's your black and white or full strength. So you have that adjustment as well. You also can apply a shape on top of this if you feel like it. And it does that, and you can adjust the size of your shape. And as you can see, what's happening here is it's giving you the duotone color inside of your shape and then black and white outside. Kind of a social media thing as far as I'm concerned on that. Let's go ahead and cancel that one out. For the next one, I'll bring up another image up here. There we go. And that's over here under Basics. And it's right here, Move and Scale Object. Again, this is something which is easily done over in expert mode. You have a lot more control there. But if you're in a hurry, you want to do things quickly, this will actually do it for you. Now you can choose either a quick selection or an auto selection down here. I'm just going to do a quick selection and see how well we can grab this in here. Now I took part of the background back there. That's a bit too much. Let's click on Subtract and I'll take out some of that. Pretty good. It's a bit of a problem right there on the boy's head. Let's try coming back into Add on that. Okay, close enough I think. So we have our basic selection made. You can move or you can duplicate. We'll just do a move, and we'll put her right over here, just a little bit more into the image, maybe there. Don't want to hide that guy in the background. Choose OK. It thinks about it. It does the move. Now notice that it came in and actually duplicated that person in the background as well. So that's a bit of an issue in there. They'll need to be fixed. It didn't move the shadows down here. Kind of messed up on that. So again, it worked kind of somewhat. We can use the spot healing tool in here, and let's try to just remove some of this stuff in here. I think my brush size is a bit larger on that. There we go. Get rid of that. Let's get rid of the guy right there. So a little bit of touch up, and that works out fine. Looks like we have some duplication up here as well. Actually duplicated that rock in there as well. That's kind of weird. Let's just clean that up a little bit here. Try to remove that rock. This is something which I don't think really is working out that well here. And again, the reason why it's not working out that well is just because things are more limited here inside of the guided edits. You have more control over all of these tools over inside of the expert mode. So in this case, it does the job. It does a fast job. Depending upon what the image is, it may work out just fine for you. And again, if you just need it done quickly and you want it for something up on social media, it's probably okay, but it's not as good as it would be if we did it in the expert mode, which is right over there. Okay, I'll just cancel that one out. Okay, let's back out of the guided mode, go back here to expert mode, and I'll close that image. Now we're done with that. So we have our cat in here and a couch thing. And we have our fitness picture. This also can work for this. Now there are two left, and the first one of these really is aimed at social media, but it's a really interesting effect. And what it does is it adds in a little bit of motion into an image, actually making a short animated GIF that makes your image look like it's more three-dimensional. Fascinating new tool. Again, I can see this being very neat on social media or anything where people are just looking at an image. Maybe use it on a website. I think this also works out very well if you're doing imagery for real estate, things like that. You may have other ideas for this as well. It actually is a pretty neat little tool. And you'll find this one up under Enhance. It's Enhance right here. And you can way to the bottom, Moving Pictures. Now because it's one of these auto things, it still isn't perfect. None of these auto things are. There we go. So here's our picture. It's gone through, it's analyzed the picture. It has looked for foreground, background, midground elements. It's figured all that stuff out, and then it'll make some adjustments. Now we have a zoom in and out effect right here. Just a zoom in, just a zoom out, pan left and right. This one actually shows up very well, so we'll be using this one in the demo. But as I scroll down here, we have pan left, pan right, tilt up and down, and a bit further. Tilt down clockwise, kind of a spin and a counterclockwise spin. Now these are all set for 3D effects. You can turn the 3D effect off and get a movement without having a 3D, but the 3D is the interesting part about this. So I'll leave that one on. And for this, let's do that pan left and right. This one really shows up the effect well. Double click on that and we'll let it run this. Now it's going to go through, again, analyze the picture for this left and right pan. Okay, let's hit play and see how this worked. There we go. And there you go. There's the 3D effect. Again, really interesting, kind of catches your eye, and I think this will work out fine for social media. Now, there are problems. If you look at the leg right here, there's a glitch coming in right there. Look at the tail up in here. You'll see a glitch coming in right there. There's a glitch up here. There's also a glitch on the left side of the head. Now, I chose this one particularly because of these perspective lines. It does a good job with the perspective lines. It has some glitches because of the background. Now, the busier your background is, the less any little glitches are noticeable. So you can do this and it will look great if you use a different picture. This is not really the best picture for this, but I thought it worked out well to show you the effect. Let's just pause this and I'll cancel this. Save changes, no. Now, I said this will work out very well for real estate. So this picture here of a room is just a standard snapshot. I've actually used this in a training video previously. Let's see what that same effect looks like in this picture of a room. And that's enhance, come back down to moving photos. It will think about it for a second. I'll let it go ahead and think, and then we'll take a fast look at how this one works. Okay, that was fast. I'll do the same pan left and right, double click on that, and it'll then go through and apply that pan left and right effect. And I think it works out very well on images like this, on these real estate type imagery. And again, the busier your background is, if you have a person and you have a standard nature scene behind them, this really works out very well. And there we go. There's no glitches noticeable in here. Has worked out very well, as you can see. And I think this is really interesting if you are doing real estate imagery. Again, this would also work possibly on product shots, things like that. Something which really lends itself to social media imagery. So there you go. That's what that's all about. Okay, for the last thing, let's go back over here to our fitness image. And I'm going to go up here to create. And there's a new option here. It's called the quote graphic right there. Let's just go ahead and bring this one up. There we go. And this is a brand new tool. And it allows you to make these card kind of things. Little basic greeting cards or signs, stuff like that. Now, all of these are templates. So simply choose the one that you like, and you can then modify or adjust it at that point. You can begin with your own photo if you want to, or you can work from scratch. We'll do it from scratch first. We can always bring our photo back in after that's done. Now, I know that we have somebody just kind of in the middle of the picture there. So let's see if we have anything with the text down towards the bottom someplace. This looks pretty good right there. It says get well soon. Yeah, that might work. I'll go ahead and do that one. Now, here's where you choose what size you want. Notice all of these sizes up here for all of your social media. They're there at the very beginning of this. It tends to give you an idea or a sense that Adobe is really thinking of this now as a social media tool. After that, though, we do have all your standard print sizes as well. So let's just do my standard 6x4 landscape right there. Choose OK. It goes through, it figures it out, it puts in the text, and there we go. Now notice what it did. It brought its own background in. So you can change this. Just click on the image. You can change this out. Over here, add a photo from organizer or from computer. So go to the organizer and see if we have that same picture in here. It's right down towards the bottom. There it is right there. And here we go. Now I could have chosen a different background here. Lots of backgrounds to choose from, as you can see. And since you can choose from the computer or organizer, you can use any image you want in behind. Now it is a themed image, so we do have some basic looks in here that aren't going to be changed. But that's a graphic, as you can see right there. Just text with the graphic on it. Same thing down here. These can be moved around, reposition where you want them to be. You can put it over here if you want to. And if you double click on this, it brings up a type tool in here, and you can adjust the typeface, type size, type color, all those things right in here. So it's very customizable, very easy. We even can bring in more graphics down over here if you want to, and there's some new graphics in here that have been added in, some new stuff we haven't seen before. And you can add in shapes. There we are, a bunch of new shapes can be added in here. So lots and lots of ways of coming in and modifying this or customizing this to just the look that you want. And I think this is a great new tool for very quickly and easily making cards, or again, this also will work out very well for social media. Okay, I'll just choose cancel on that one. There we go. So there we are. There's all those new features here inside of the new Photoshop Elements 2021. Aside from that, the rest of the program runs exactly the same. No real change on that. So whether or not these new features are worth it to you will depend upon what you use Photoshop Elements for. I can see how this can be a very good update for people if they find, for instance, that this card trick we just did is useful, or if that head tilting bit, that's very nice, or also that 3D animated effect. So it's really up to you whether or not you like these new tools. Unless you also use Premiere Elements. That one has a lot of very useful upgrades. So that is a very good upgrade if you buy both programs together. So there you go. That's my look at the new Photoshop Elements 2021. And if you like this video, hit that like button, click on share, click on subscribe, check out my channel for more Photoshop Elements videos, and of course, take a look at my complete training for Photoshop Elements. There's a link right down there in the description.